The views expressed on the Nerd Realm are not necessarily the views of the Lagging Out Network or its advertisers. Listener discretion is advised. Do not try this at home. We are trained professionals. You are now entering the Nerd Realm on the Lagging Out Network, where we bring all the nerd news and more to you. And now, the hosts of the Nerd Realm, Havok and 404.
Welcome to the Nerd Realm, everybody. I'm your host, Havok, and we are in 2015, the year Marty McFly went to the future. And with this being a new year, I gotta say, we are in what I like to call a nerd year resolution. I mean, this year, I want everyone who listens to the show, I want you guys to write in the comment page, I want you to write in our Facebook, anywhere you can, write down your own nerd year resolution. And mine is, I'm going to learn everything I can about the DC Universe, both pre-52 to New 52. I'm going to learn it over the next course of the year. And it's going to be fun. But I need, well, you guys heard him laughing. I need to go ahead and bring out my awesome co-host, 404.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is 404. I am the errored one. I am the host not found. This is the Nerd Realm, and this is the only show that is best listened to with your earballs.
Your earballs?
With your earballs, that's right.
I like it.
Yeah, man. Hey, today's show, what we're going to talk about today is the shows to watch. Things like the return of Arrow and The Flash. Some movies to see. The new Avengers, Age of Ultron, and the Ant-Man trailers. We're going to talk about games to play, featuring some PlayStation Now and games that both Havok and I have been playing recently. We're going to get to some gadgets, what to get or not get, and later on we're going to talk about some news in the world of Deadpool. So that ought to be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
And now, Havok and the Nerd Realm headlines is brought to you by Nerd Realm. Follow them on Twitter at NerdRealmLON.
Well, as 404 just mentioned, January 20th and 21st will show the return from their mid-season finales of Flash and Arrow to the CW. The Flash will return with brand new episodes January 20th, 2015, and feature the return of Captain Cold, played by Wentworth Miller, and the name of Heatwave. And
Cold, he got me.
You know, that's what I think. You know, and that's really kind of cool about Flash, though, is that they have these lame villain titles. One of the characters named Cisco names them.
Yeah.
And he names them, and if they just already had those names, the show would just be just cheesy as hell. But this nerdy guy giving these villains these weird names, it kind of makes it believable. Oh man. They're really leading toward this whole building of the Rogues, which is a team of villains that are against Flash. You know, it's like Captain Boomerang and Captain Cold and Heatwave and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna pick up after the events of the mid-season finale, where Flash actually ran into the man in the yellow suit, which it's Reverse Flash, and the mid-season finale left with a weird cliffhanger. I know I spent a couple weeks thinking it was a spoiler to everybody, that it was Dr. Wales, but now I'm starting to not believe it's Dr. Wales. I don't know. It's alluded to this first half of the season that it could be Reverse Flash from the future coming back to help train Barry to be the Flash. It's kind of weird when you're watching it. I kind of think it's future Barry Allen from the coming to help himself get better for whatever event happens in the timeline in the future.
I thought that he made it pretty obvious that it was Dr. Wells.
You know, that's the thing is, maybe I'm overthinking it, but it doesn't make sense. Why would your villain come back in time to help you get better at being the Flash?
Just to try to take you down. Yeah, it is a very weird. Yeah, it's a weird story plot. And I'm very interested to see how that turns out, because Dr. Wells has been very shady from the very get-go. I mean, and that's not been a secret as far as the show goes. It's just knowing that he can walk, and he's got his little secret lab room back there with some sort of peek into the future there. He's got like he's got like the newspaper of the future or something.
Well, and that's the thing is, you know, with I mean, because, you know, with my theory is that maybe something happened to Barry in the future, and he ran back in time to try to help himself get better to face whatever threat is in the future. He just happens to have Reverse Flash's suit, because maybe he killed him or something. I don't know. I guess we'll wait when the series comes back. I'm sure we're going to get a Revolution by the end of season 1. In fact, it got picked up for a season 2. CW renewed it.
Mm-hmm. Which was very smart for them to do, because this is a fantastic show. Yeah,
I mean, it's been fun since the get-go. Grant Gustin is fantastic as Barry.
The Flash.
The Flash. But it's been a fun show. I mean, I've not had a really bad episode. And it won People's Choice for best new show. So I mean, it's doing fantastic. It's doing fantastic on its own. And the CW president did say that there's going to be a annual Arrow Flash crossover each year. So
awesome.
That's going to be cool.
That is awesome, because that episode in particular was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was a great one. And Arrow is one that you know, I got into it and was really liking it for a long time, and I don't know why, but I just sort of fell out of it, and I think just maybe some of the storyline plots got a little ridiculous for me.
Well, binge watching it gets rough. I mean, 'cause the fact that you're like, oh my god, so much happening. It's like, how much more shit can Oliver go through? And speaking of Arrow, that returns January 21st, 2015, with brand new episodes, picking up from its mid-season finale, which left most of the Arrow fandom like, what the hell? Because he fought Ra's al Ghul and lost ridiculously and got thrown off a damn cliff after getting skewered like an arrow kebab.
Damn.
And, yeah. He was dead.
See, now I gotta catch up. And I'm like, what, 3 seasons behind?
Like, he was dead. Like it was through the lung. Like, it tossed off the damn thing. And dude, it's gonna get crazy. Of course, this past this tail end of the series so far, we've seen Roy Harper become Arsenal, aka Red Arrow, Speedy, whatever you want to call him. Diggle's really stepped up in ways of being more involved. I mean, I do love he's the only character that doesn't have a mask, but it's okay. It's John Diggle. And Felicity's still as hot as ever.
She is.
Yeah.
She's another. You know what? It's funny. Here's the parallels I'm going to draw between Arrow and the Flash is Felicity and Cisco. Both of them are like the super smart, quirky people. You know? Yeah. And well, Felicity's hot as hell. I think Cisco's kind of a douche, but it's that kind of thing. It to me, it draws focus away from the show. Just a weirdness in the character. But when they took Felicity from Arrow and brought her over specifically the first time into the Flash, I was like, now that's a great crossover. Now I'm actually starting to like her a bit more.
Man, but
plus she's easy on the eyes, man.
Oh yes, very much. But no, it seemed like it's season 2 because I got my sister actually watching Arrow, and I think it's partially because she likes to see Oliver Queen on the salmon ladder doing doing the bar thingy.
Yeah.
But no, she really likes the storyline. She's really involved in this whole Deathstroke storyline from season 2.
Yeah.
And we have like 5 more episodes. But watching it with her and everything, I've seen Felicity like towards the end, like when Deathstroke's like pretty much doing psychological warfare on Team Arrow, that she's pretty much telling him to kill this asshole. And I mean, it is pretty damn bad. But I think Felicity is more of a grounded character to kind of keep Oliver in there. Diggle keeps his morale level in check.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Felicity's more of Oliver's, humanizing thing. Right. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But seeing how it ended, but back in December, the mid-season finale kind of ended the way it did. It was pretty damn touching because of the fact that she didn't want Oliver to go off to fight Ra's al Ghul because Ra's al Ghul is a killer, and Oliver is no longer a killer. And she was like begging and pleading. It's like he's going to use your soul against you and everything. And it was a touching thing. He still went off to fight him because of certain events. If you haven't watched the mid-season finale, let's just go and watch it. It's really, really good. It's and you're going to be left on the edge of your seat, like, what the hell? I can't wait until it comes back. But on the Marvel side of things, recently the new Avengers Age of Ultron trailers and Ant-Man trailers debuted. Ugh. We'll talk about we'll save the worst for last. The Avengers Age of Ultron trailer it didn't show much of the story. Like the first trailer didn't really either, but it was more of setting the tone. This one was more of a fluff piece. It was more of a showing nothing but the action. And it was okay. It left more questions than answers. There's this part in the trailer where there's this girl in this cave and she's going into this water. I don't know who this character is, but whatever. We'll find out when the movie launches May 1st of this year. But the best part of the trailer, Hulkbuster. You got to see the Hulkbuster in armor in action. It was a pretty nice little scene. The inside looks fantastic. and moving on to Ant-Man with Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas.
Oh. Okay. All right. Let's talk about Ant-Man. All right.
Well, Ant-Man, this one's going to be set up more of a heist film. Of course, it's starring Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas, and pretty much it's set up that Michael Douglas is is the older version of Hank Pym. He's and Scott Lang, played by Paul Rudd, he gets arrested. He offers them a deal, from how it's looking like in the movie, to do something to become the Ant-Man. In the comics, the reason why Scott Lang became a villain, well, a thief really, is he was trying to get money to save his daughter, which I think anyone with kids can really relate to that. And I think they're going to push that in the movie, which I hope they do. But from the initial look of the trailer, I was not really all that impressed. I think this might be the first bomb for Marvel Studios, which is a good thing, because they've produced nothing but gold so far, and they need that one miss to kind of humanize them, kind of say, okay, we know where people are going to let us go. I mean, because the Guardians of the Galaxy, that was a luck and a half. It did well. It did phenomenally well. But they were able to introduce certain elements to keep it grounded, such as humor and the choice of music. Every time they threw in a bizarre space thing that should have turned the audience off, they had some old school music playing to kind of like, oh yeah, okay, this is cool, I can understand this. Okay. It didn't matter where it was. And during this trailer, you kind of saw them trying to say, okay, if Guardians can do it, we can do it here on Earth. And it honestly, there's a part in the trailer where Michael Douglas is talking to Paul Rudd. He's telling him, I want you to become the Ant-Man. And Paul Rudd's character goes, huh. I was like, it didn't make sense. It's like, and they made it kind of jokey in a couple parts. And I'm like, and I don't think 2 movies back to back like that are singular properties is not going to really work, in my opinion.
This movie is going to suck. It's going to be awful. It's going to be terrible. And just because of all of the points that you just made, Havok, but because also of the fact that Ant-Man is the stupidest hero character of all. If you've never heard me go off about Ant-Man, go back and check out, I think, almost our very first Nerd Realm episode, and you'll get to listen to about 17 minutes in or so. I totally go off on Ant-Man, but I'm going to reiterate it here, is that Ant-Man is the dumbest character ever.
At this point in our show, 404 goes on and on about how he hates Ant-Man. The producers decided to spare you his blabbering.
Well, the cool thing about the movie, though, is Evangeline Lilly so that's the only cool thing I brought with it, because she was looking hot for like the half a second she was in the trailer.
Who?
Evangeline Lilly. She was in Real Steel.
Yeah, and she was in Lost, and so and I'm a fan of Paul Rudd, and I like Evangeline Lilly. I just don't think either one of them, and Michael Douglas isn't a bad actor either, but I don't think any of them are going to be able to polish this turd.
I don't think so either. And like I said, this might be the best thing if it does bomb for Marvel Studios, because it can put them in a contingent where they know their limit. They can know their limit, and they can go from there. Unlike DC, who's putting all their eggs in a basket and hoping for the best. Like, let's shove as much shit we can do in Batman vs Superman. Speaking of DC, though, so far this is the only Justice League-ish story that's even worth mentioning. On January 27, 2015, exclusive to DVD and Blu-ray, and of course it's all available right now on digital HD, Justice League Throne of Atlantis. It's a animated feature. It's a sequel to Justice League War, and it deals with the threat of Atlantis, obviously in the title, and introduces Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman. This is New 52 Aquaman, not Super Friends Aquaman. That was a to steal some words from 404, that guy was a pussy. This Aquaman, he has mad sharks, is all I'm saying. He has a freaking thunder trident. He has freaking super strength. He's like Injustice Aquaman.
Yeah, Injustice Aquaman was pretty badass.
Hell yeah. Now this adapts the Justice League arc, Throne of Atlantis, by the same name. Dealt with Ocean Master trying to, drown the world because apparently, we pollute the oceans, and the whole dark side invasion kind of didn't help with that. But it looks fantastic. I've seen some clips of it. I've seen the trailer. I can't tell. I can't find any definitive evidence on it, but I think Nathan Fillion's playing Hal Jordan in this one. I might be wrong. From the trailer, it sounds like Nathan Fillion, but I can't really tell.
Time now for news from the realm of comics. Is brought to you by Revolver Gaming. Follow them on Twitter at RevolverGN.
Got some sad Marvel news, though. Marvel has announced that in April, Deadpool will die. Yes, our favorite merc with the mouth will be biting the big one with his big Canadian friend Wolverine. Okay. And the death of Deadpool is kind of a shock to me. I was like, why? He's one of their popular guys. And there's a lot of fan theories going around that this is just Marvel's way of sticking it to Fox for not giving back the rights and all this stuff. But with it being this close to their big interdimensional event coming up called Secret Wars, where pretty much reality itself in the Marvel universe is going to implode and all the universes are going to just vanish, I think this is their way of taking Deadpool off the map for that. It's just to bring him back when they fix everything, and also close to his movie in February 2016. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think Deadpool's going to be gone long. What do you think?
No. Come on, man. It's the comic hero world. There's nobody dies forever.
And you know what? From what I'm reading, because I read the graphic novels for Deadpool, because that's the only way I can ever read them. because reading just a single issue is like getting only a part of a joke and then waiting for someone to tell you the rest of it. The serious storyline in the whole thing, he needs a break. Jesus, I mean, he has a daughter. Apparently, he finds out. Oh man, just so much crap. So I mean, him dying is probably not exactly a bad thing. It makes me wonder though, because it's happening in April of all months. So I mean, maybe it's a joke on him. Maybe he's just gonna go into hiding. I don't know.
Nerd Realm Gaming is brought to you by Laggin' Out. Follow them on Twitter at LAGGINOUT.
Okay, guys, this is 404, and we're coming back with the game segment. First things off, and we're going to talk about the Sony PlayStation Now subscription service that just opened up. Right now, they're in a 7-day free trial, so as of this recording, you have 7 days. It's a streaming game service that lets you play select PS3 games with no downloads, patches, installs, or trips to a store to give you the freedom to game your stuff anytime you want. A subscription service starts at $20 a month, but if you get a 3-month package, where you buy 3 months at a time, you get it for $15 a month. So a little bit of a savings there, which is pretty good.
That's not too bad.
No,
I mean,
no.
So I mean, that's the thing. I'm not really sure. I mean, does that mean that you can play the PS3 games on your PS4, or do you have to only play on your PlayStation 3? That's what I didn't get about the service. I mean, I've seen it on PlayStation for a long time now. It's just, I've never really seen it.
And I had that same question, and I was really wondering about that. And essentially, what it ends up doing is turning your PS4 into a PS3 emulator, where when you go into a game and you play one of these games, is that when you hit your start or when you hit the PS button, you go into what looks like more of the old XMB bar from PS3.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and all like the notifications, like when your friends sign on and off, your notifications all look like the old PS3 notifications and stuff. So, personally, I am a huge fan of this because of the fact that the PS4 game library is so small, and it's I haven't really been able to find a lot of games for PS4 that I'm like, I want to play this. But what I'm really enjoying seeing is that now there's a ton of PS3 games, full games, that are available to stream through PlayStation for really not much. The game library here for PlayStation Now is over 200 strong already. Things like God of War Ascension, Mass Effect 2, Street Fighter 4, Saints Row 4, Killzone 3, Darksiders 2, Infamous, however you like to say it. I always say Infamous. I don't know why, but
me too. I don't know what it is. It's one word. I still break it up.
Yeah. Dead Space 3 is out there, and that's that is just a tip of what's out there, of what's going to be available.
Well, it sounds like a cool service. It's just, for me, I mean, people give Microsoft a lot of hell because of the fact that, of course, you have to have an Xbox Live Gold account to play online, to view Netflix, which they recently made Netflix free, that you don't have to have a subscription to do Netflix, but you have to have a subscription for this and this and this. And now with PlayStation, though, I mean, you have to have PlayStation Plus to play online and everything. But with this new subscription thing, that's another $20 you're having to pay. It's almost like $40, depending on if you're doing the 3-month packages. I mean, do you think it's too much? I mean, yes, it pays for itself, just like PlayStation Plus pays for itself when you have it, because you get like several free games each month free.
Yeah,
I mean,
and to tell you the truth, I have been a bit disappointed in the PlayStation Plus game availability of what they give you. It's like, yeah, okay, but this is a $10 little, garbage game that, this isn't something that is worth paying money for. You know what I mean? Is they would give you one good game and two shitty ones, and that one good game was pretty it was subjective as to whether that was a good game or not.
Yeah, I mean, right now on Microsoft, on their games with the gold on 360, I think they're giving away at this point in time, at the time of recording, it was like some motocross game. I think it was like ATV versus motocross or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Ew.
And those are fun games for a short time.
Yeah,
those are ones where if I would have bought that game brand new for $60, $50-$60, where I'd be super pissed. But for $15-$20 a month, and having access to a crap ton of games, even though they might be older games, you don't have to go anywhere to get them. You stream them to your machine. You don't have to use up any disk space on your local machine. There's
that's a really good that's a pro right there.
I personally feel that there's a lot of advantages to it. Just having access to a lot of games that I probably would not have paid for before or even tried before. Something like Final Fantasy. Those are not my kind of games, but that's because I'm used to like the really old versions of them where a lot of reading, a lot of text, a lot of it wasn't my deal.
The good stuff.
Yeah, not my idea of playing a video game, and maybe that's changed over the years, and now I have a chance to check it out for myself and see what the newest versions are like, and maybe become a fan. Who knows? It's not.
Yeah.
Everyone likes what they like,
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, the last.
I might actually check it out. I mean, hey, it's 7-day free trial. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't. You have to basically agree to the 1 or 3 month plans before you do it. But it even kind of says to you is like you can go in and cancel your subscription so you don't get billed. It even gives you that note to say that it's automatically gonna bill you, but if you set it to cancel, you won't get billed. So I like that.
Okay.
The last great thing about the PlayStation Now is that it's going to be compatible among a plethora of devices: the PS4, the PS3, PS Vita, Sony TVs, and Sony's and PlayStation TV, which is a new device that's going to be showing up soon. Has it come out yet? Do you know?
It has. I've seen it at Walmart a couple times, and it's completely useless from everybody I've heard.
That's what I've heard too. That's what I've heard too, and I'm real disappointed in that. But I don't know. I'm still not sure if I should make the investment and check it out for myself.
I wouldn't. You already have a PlayStation and a a PS4. I wouldn't. I mean, pretty much all you're doing is, from what I'm gathering from what PlayStation TV is, it's like a little box you hook up to your TV, and it pretty much gives you the interface from the PlayStation 4, and you can watch TV and stuff off of it and stream movies. That's about it, from what I'm gathering. I mean, it comes in a really small box, and it comes with a Lego movie as a movie.
Oh yeah,
for you.
Well, see, what you're describing sounds exactly like a Apple TV or the Amazon Fire.
Yeah.
Their new TV streamer thing or whatever, or it's like a low. You can get you can get the stick, but you can also get the box part. They probably got different.
I mean, I really don't understand exactly on what PlayStation TV is, and we'll be glad to look into it for everyone listening. I mean, but from what I've heard of it, I'm perfectly happy with just my PlayStation, and I can move with that.
Yeah. Sony, if you're listening, why don't you send us a couple PlayStation TVs so we can check them out?
Yeah, there you go.
But so that's about what I got for PlayStation Now. I heard you got some news on Nintendo Direct.
Oh yes, I did. I watched the Nintendo Direct from January 15th. The January 13th of 2015. Let's see, and we had some pretty decent stuff revealed. The staple of it is the brand new. Well, it's in the name. The new Nintendo 3DS. It's pretty much a hardware upgrade from what's already on the market. America is getting the Nintendo, the new Nintendo 3DS XL, which is, it's probably going to eventually phase out the current XL model that's on the market now. It has a whole new chipset in it, faster processor. It's going to have near field communication for their amiibo little action figures that you can scan in, and they do little perks to different games that feature those characters, kind of like in Smash Brothers and the upcoming Kirby, the Rainbow Curse, which was also shown in the Nintendo Direct. But the big feature was the new 3DS, and I'm happy to say I was able to pre-order one. I wasn't able to get the Majora's Mask version I wanted. That one sold out at my local GameStop in an hour after this Direct. But they showed off some major games coming to both Wii U and the new 3DS. There's also a trailer for a new Fire Emblem game. The Fire Emblem games are just a fantastic RPG. They go back to like their old school roots a little bit, with of course using CG cutscenes, especially on a handheld. Like, these are like PlayStation 3 caliber cutscenes on a handheld. Still fantastic. There was a game that was announced called Puzzles and Dragons. This is, if that doesn't sound Japanese for you, I don't know what else it is. I kid you not, it's a puzzle game and a monster gathering game. You solve a puzzle from what it looks like from the trailer. You solve a puzzle, like it's like one of those match 3 games that you can download on your phone, like Bejeweled and whatnot. Mm-hmm. You get that, and then you get to collect a dragon, and then you can go battle those dragons against other dragons in this RPG element. It's weird. It's a JRPG and a half. Yeah. But it's going to come in a 2-pack later on this year with a Mario version of the game.
They will put that fat little bastard in anything, man.
Yeah.
It's like Mario's like Nintendo's little whore.
He's a racer. He's a doctor. He organizes a party. You know, whatever.
Nintendo's bitch.
Yeah. As I mentioned with Kirby, the Rainbow Curse, that's another amiibo title that they're going to be supporting, as well as the upcoming Mario Party 10. And I can't believe there's been 10 of these things. I like the game series. I like Mario Party. You have to have a lot of friends to play them, at least 4. But they're really funny.
I'm out.
But I would not go to a party. I would not go to a party in the Mushroom Kingdom, though. God, no.
Ooh, I would. Depends on what kind of mushrooms we're talking about, but I would.
Well, yeah, you can get mushrooms all you want, but you're gonna have to fight 3 of your friends to fall off into a volcano. Yes, that was an actual game in one of the. I think it was in Mario Party 8. Yeah, you had to fight your friends and throw them into a volcano in order to win the minigame.
Sacrificing virgins sounds about right. I'm laughing at my own joke.
Throw him in the volcano. 5 years of free winter. Oh man. Splatoon is a Wii U title that's coming. It's a paintball shooter. It arrives in May. It looks like total fun. I watched the trailer for it, and they talked about it in the Direct. Splatoon, it has like little RPG elements where you can like customize your little character with like different clothes. There's like this big hub. It's like this city. You can talk with the other characters, and then you can engage in battles with them, like full on, like it looks like 4-on-4 arena fighting. And like you have like these like assault rifles that fire out paint, and it looks like fun. It's really just like throwaway fun. It's constantly online, so you can play with people everywhere, and possibly and you know what, unlike what Microsoft and Sony had in December, Nintendo hasn't had any real records of their online service getting hacked. So at least you know you're gonna be able to play.
It's because nobody takes it seriously.
We could hack Nintendo, but why would you? Oh man!
But why would
another
you?
thing that was
Exactly.
released, and I like these. I have a couple of them on my 3DS. They're Sega 3D classics. They're coming to the handheld. The first one was Afterburner 2. I love the Afterburner series. Have you ever played them?
I have. Those are good games. Yeah.
Oh my god! It's fast paced, just out of control dogfighting. Afterburner 2 is getting the whole 3D remake, the 3D edition. It's going to be the same Genesis-looking game, sounds, graphics, everything, but it's going to have the 3D technology. And you would think that would just make your eyes just start bleeding, but it works really well. I was like, I don't know if I should play because I have it Sightback. I know that wasn't a Sega game, but I have the Sightback 3D Classic, and it's. I thought it would hurt my eyes. It doesn't. I don't really know where the 3D is, but I don't mind it. It's like the dirt coming at you.
So you don't need to use glasses or anything to see the 3D on there.
No. And that's another thing with the new 3DS's thing, and I can't believe I left that out. Is that this is going to have a better 3D tracking. With the version we have right now, there's a certain, as they like to say, a sweet spot that you have to put your head a certain way to actually see the 3D.
Yeah.
And if you move out of that for anything, from either hitting a button or trying to do anything complicated, it starts blurring, and you can't. And then you have to find that sweet spot again.
Yeah.
But this one
poorly executed is what you're saying.
Yes, I'll go ahead and say that. A lot of people don't even use the 3D, but this one I think I'm going to. This one has a better improved 3D tracker. It has a face tracker. There's a camera right next to it that reads where your head is. So this way the 3D technology moves where you move. So if you're playing a game like, let's say, Star Fox, and you're using the gyroscope technology to where you can actually control the R-Wing by flying it, the 3D technology will actually follow with you, no matter where you're going.
Cool.
Yeah. Nintendo's taking finally Nintendo's stealing something from the big dogs, as they like to call themselves. Nintendo's going to dip into their first ever cross-buy game with Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars. If you buy the Wii U version, you get the 3DS version free, and vice versa. You buy the 3DS version, you get the Wii U version free. And that's from their own words. So, which means if it's right, that means it's going to be roughly around $40. And pretty much what it is the classic Mario vs. Donkey Kong games. I've played them. They're fun, and I'm sure there are some fans out there that love that series. You can actually build your own stages, put them on the Miiverse, which is Nintendo's big online community, and people can download them. And then if they like it, they can tip you stars, which you can use to buy more items to build more stages. And it looks like an interesting. It does look like an interesting title, not one I'm personally going to pick up. But I do like them experimenting with the whole cross-buy system that Sony started with, PlayStation 3, I believe. That if you buy like a PlayStation game that has a Vita component, it's like a cross-buy. You get both games.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is that I've got a bunch of games now that I have the Vita versions. I just don't have a Vita.
Yeah, you just download them anyways. I mean,
I've gone back and forth so many times on whether I want to get a handheld or not. I'm like, why do I really want to play on this little screen here when I've got a 70-inch screen to sit in front of?
Well, for me, it's like if I really don't want to just look at my TV, I just want to just have it completely quiet except for just something small. Like if I want to play like a handheld, because I do play a lot on my 3DS. I have a lot of titles I play on it, like Mario, of course, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon, and several other games. that sometimes you just really need a break from the high definition genre and just kind of go with something fun. I mean, I play a lot of classic games on my 3DS too.
Yeah, I completely disagree, but anyway. That actually makes a really good segue into our next topic here, and this is we're going to talk about the games that both Havok and I have been playing. The first one we're going to talk about is the Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham game.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I'm loving this game, but let me give you a little rundown on what the game is. Is that this lets you battle with Batman and his allies in outer space and various lantern worlds. So you travel around to all 5 of the different lantern worlds and do some damage around there. You can unlock more than 150 different characters of the Justice League and big Lego features like Cyborg and Solomon Grundy, the kind of characters that can pop, you're not your typical little Lego figure. They actually bust up into like double size, and can really break up some Lego world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and in this one, your main fighter that you're after is Brainiac. He's got a mind control ability, and the power of the Land of Rings brings a whole new twist to the characters of the whole series. It's been a lot of fun. There's additional challenges in there, things like battle arenas, races, and detective mazes. So far, I just completed the game the other day, and I loved it. I'm a huge fan of almost anything. Well, not almost. I'm a huge fan of anything Lego. From the toys to the games to their stores. If you've ever been into a Lego store, it's very cool in there.
I mean, I got this game for Christmas. Actually, it's one of the games I got for Christmas, and I haven't fully beat it yet. I'm still checking along. I'm one of those people that kind of take my time with games. That
oh yeah, me too.
I try not to rush through it. And what we get with this game is it is so chock full of just fandom, and even for someone like me who hasn't really explored the DC universe, I'm thoroughly enjoying it because I do know certain characters, and unfortunately I still hate the villain. It's not the fact that Traveler's Tale did a bad game with their villain. I just hate the villain in general. Like how 404 hates Ant-Man, I hate Brainiac the exact same way. But I mean, the environments, you almost kind of forget they're Legos because the fact those environments are so freaking just stunning. Like
they're immersive,
the trees and everything. Yeah. It's all Lego, but your mind kind of takes you out of that because of how the characters interact with one another. And of course, Superman is freaking hilarious. I love Superman.
Yeah, so
stupid.
My only the only thing that I didn't care for the game, and not even the game, it was really more of the storyline aspect of it, was the fact that they made Cyborg and Robin to be like such pussies. I mean, like they're afraid of everything, and I was like, and it's weird because a couple of levels you have to rely heavily on those two characters, and it's like, well, all right, I see what you're doing. You're doing it for comedic effect, but you made them look like super pussies. So whatever, But here's an interesting thing about the Lego games, and Lego in general, just as far as the animation and everything goes, is that it's just funny that the technology of televisions and the high definition of everything, of how incredibly crisp everything is, and then you go and they make games and movies where everything becomes blocky, and everything's squared edges and everything. So it's like you've got this super high definition of something where it's like you don't have all of these like beautifully rounded edges and corners of everything. Everything kind of starts turning blocky again, is the higher definition that you get. Minecraft is a perfect example of that.
Exactly.
Wow, I'm really glad that I spent thousands of dollars on this high definition television to go look at everything in 8-bit technology.
God, you just might as well pop in a copy of Final Fantasy VII and say, "Here it is, the pinnacle of technology."
Let me get out my old CRT monitor.
Oh yeah, there you go, whip it out.
That thing's like 3 feet deep.
Man, but Lego Batman 3, it's definitely a fun game. I've enjoyed it. I mean, the DLCs are just as great as the main campaign so far. I kind of took a break from the main campaign to play the DLCs. They make fun of certain events, such the Dark Knight trilogy and the Man of Steel trilogy. Oh, not trilogy, but the Man of Steel opening scenes. Mm-hmm. They do kind of make fun of those. It's funny because you play as Jor-El on Krypton right before the planet explodes, and I don't know if Traveler's Tales is kind of poking fun at Christopher Nolan, but in both Man of Steel, because he was a producer of that one, and in the Dark Knight segment, because it was just the chase scene from Dark Knight, it seems like they're kind of poking fun at a lot of those two, tropes in those movies, like the dark, depressing mood. Mm-hmm. But what makes up for it is they actually use some of the music from the series, like Hans Zimmer's work, or at least it sounded like Hans Zimmer's work. And I was laughing because I was like, are they making fun of those movies? It really felt like they were making fun of those movies because everyone else bashes on them now. Like College Humor and everything else makes fun of that Batman with his raspy voice. Where did they make that I mean, and I make fun of them too because of the fact there was no reason for those movies to be that dark. But they also did the 75th anniversary the DLC, which that one wasn't my favorite one. You played as Joker and Harley Quinn, and you crashed Batman's 75th anniversary party. You turn everything into Joker products. It was cute, but it really didn't solve anything.
Yeah.
But you got to unlock the first appearance of Batman costume for use in free play in Lego Batman. The most recent one that they just released as part of the season pass is the Arrow DLC, and it's voiced over by Stephen Amell from Arrow, and you team up with Slade Wilson on the island. And he's in his full Arrow costume. You unlock the Arrow costume for use in the game.
Cool.
And it's funny because all through the DLC he's talking, and it's set up like a voiceover / flashback to the island. And the first 30 seconds of the game, he talks to the audience and tells them, for all those who are part of the continuity police, sometimes I like the flashback. I'm in my Arrow costume on the island. It's like, good job, Steven. Good job. A couple other games that I had gotten over the holiday break. I got Smash Brothers for Wii U and 3DS. And those two interact really, really well together. You can actually use your 3DS as a controller for the Wii U version if you wish to do so. And the Wii U version has their big marketing strategy is 8-player Smash. And it's as crazy as it sounds. 8-player Smash. Wow. 4 people on screen is crazy enough, but 8? And then you can take that 8-player, I think you can take that online, actually. I've only played a few matches online, but because I get stomped ridiculously. No, but the cast for Smash Brothers is fantastic. We lost the Ice Climbers for whatever reason it was, due to hardware issues is what the complaint was. But you get Pac-Man as a guest character, Mega Man. Let's see, you have several new people like Little Mac from Punch Out. He's my favorite character. He could lay someone out. Because if he takes enough damage, he does like his uppercut from Punch Out. almost instant KO for somebody.
Nice.
The Dunk Hut dog is in there, so if you ever wanted to beat the crap out of that damn dog, you have your chance in Smash Brothers. I got the Halo Master Chief Collection. Yes, it's had its issues since launch, which is completely, and I'm not even going to try to defend the 343 Industries on this one. Should have been worked out beforehand. There's been several issues of several long queue times. The in-game content starts messing up. They've solved a good portion of those problems. Of course, if you bought it, you also had access to Halo Nightfall, which was a great web series. I liked it. The ending felt kind of rushed. And you got access to the Halo 5 Guardians beta, which I did play that one. And I'm excited for Halo 5 if it plays just like that. It takes you back to the old Halo 2 roots. Of course, Halo Master Chief Collection, it collects Halo 1, Halo Anniversary, which is a remake of Part 1, a Xbox One cleanup of Halo 2, and it is complete with like motion capture and everything. The game's visuals look completely retooled. It comes with Halo 3 and Halo 4, and all their maps, all their stuff already unlocked, so this way you're ready to go. You can just play online, and how they set up their matchmaking is it can pull from all 4 games, which means that you can have a map from Halo 1 you can vote on, you can have a map from Halo 3 to Halo 2, and you can vote on which you want to go to, and it loads that multiplayer originally how it was when it first released. So which means that if you got a map for Halo 1, it plays just like Halo 1, and
Cool.
vice versa to all the others.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, for $60, it's not that bad of a deal. You get 4 classic games for the $60. I just wish the issues would have been fleshed out before release. They could have probably, but they wanted it out for Halo 2's 10-year anniversary. So
Yeah.
And went out and we got what we got. But most of those issues have already been fixed.
I have started playing a game called Rocksmith 2014, and
Oh yeah,
I don't if you don't know what Rocksmith is that Rocksmith takes your Guitar Heroes and your Rock Band to the next level, meaning that do you actually want to learn how to play a guitar, and do you actually want to learn how to play a bass to real songs? This is the game to get right here. And I use the term game very loosely in this because there are some game aspects to it, and it's, if you're familiar with Rock Band and Guitar Hero, you're going to be able to pick up on this pretty easily. But to me, it's not about it being a game and counting points, which I don't really think it does. Like I said, there's a few like arcade games that are included on it that are for fun and for practice, really. But for me, it's all about the music, man. What I learned here is from a good friend that let me borrow his electric guitar, is that I started in on it and I was really enjoying it, but I was just struggling. Well, it turns out, my hands aren't made for a guitar. My hands are made for a bass. So I got a bass guitar, and I've been playing non-stop ever since. And it's unbelievable. Like my fingers, I've lost my fingerprints on 4 of my fingers from the strings, because I can't put it down. But definitely, I want to highly recommend it if you are a fan of music and you're a fan of the Rock Band games and the music games. Take yourself in a new direction. Take it to the point of learning actually how to play one of those instruments, and you'll have a new outlook on a lot of stuff. You'll have a new talent.
I was curious about those games. Actually, I was really curious about that. I mean. Yeah. About kind of like how it connected to like a real guitar. I mean, like, was there a component that comes with the game?
Yes, the game comes with a cable, and it, it's a fairly expensive investment of a game / cable for this, but it's well worth it if you're into it. It comes with a cable that's a USB attachment to plug into your system, into your console system, and then has a 1/4-inch input jack on the other end for basically your standard instrument input jack. I have been able to play the game with both an electric bass, an electric guitar, and an acoustic bass. I would suppose you can use an acoustic guitar as well, but I don't have one, so I haven't been able to try it. But using electric bass and guitar works better as far as like sound quality goes for it and everything. Yeah, it's been fantastic. Totally loving it. I've heard that it helps you get. I've heard that playing an instrument gets you chicks. So we'll see about that.
True that.
Yeah.
Time now for the Nerd Realm Gadget Review.
This is also brought to you by @LaggingOut. LAGGINOUT. Lagging Out is our parent network, and if you don't know who they are, you should go check them out because they're awesome. The first up on the gadget list is the iPhone 6 Plus. And this is on the list because I got one just recently, and you know what? There's not a whole lot to say about this other than it's an iPhone. It's a bigger iPhone and it kicks ass. That's if you're accustomed to iPhones and you've had one all along, you'll probably like this one just as much. The larger screen, I love it. It's big, it's beautiful. When you go looking at websites, looking at Facebook, everything seems to be just a little bit larger. So if you're getting older like me, you know, looking at these things, I like it more. What you find though is that with a bigger phone, if you're accustomed to a standard iPhone with a bigger phone, just like whenever you got your first smartphone, you sort of change your life habits around this phone to make sure, because it's big enough that yes, you can stick it in your pocket, but don't expect to put anything else in your pocket with that phone, or you're just going to feel like I'm going to break my phone or I'm going to scratch my screen or something. So, you know, you where you used to throw your phone in a cup holder in your car or whatever when you're driving in the car, it doesn't quite fit in those cup holders now. So you find yourself rearranging your life around the usage of this phone. It's not bad. It's not as bad as you'd think. As a guy, I've been able to handle it just fine. I would think as a woman, if you keep your phone in a purse or whatever, or some sort of carry that you use, I don't think you're going to have too much trouble with it. The newest addition to the phone has been Apple Pay, which is the NFC payment methods that you can use, where you can use your phone to you can link your debit cards from your bank through certain banks to your phone and be able to use your phone to make payments at retail stores. Seems like a great idea in theory. I have yet to find anywhere that accepts it, because I would love to try it out, and I'm all set up for it, but yeah, I haven't found a store yet that accepts it.
That sounds interesting. You said it was Apple Pay?
Yeah, Apple Pay. Basically it works with your fingerprint ID on it, or I think you can do your secret code touch or something like that too. But yeah, like some of the stores are supposed to, when you go up to pay, instead of swiping a credit card, you should just pull out your phone and hold it near the thing and give it the okay, and it's supposed to go through. So let's see. Next up on the gadget review is the PlayStation Gold wireless headset. I got this back in December, and my sum up of this is meh. I could sit here and read to you all of the great things that it can do and can't do, or that it can do and all that good stuff, but I gotta say, the audio quality sounds fine. The microphone, it's integrated into the headset, so there's no boom mic or anything that comes around front. And as far as my friends have told me, is that it sucks. When you grab the adjustment buttons for the headset itself is actually on the can of the earphones that surround your ear. And when you grab it and your hands are making noise on that thing, your friends are going, "Oh my God, shut that the fuck off!" It's so loud in their ear, and you're just trying to adjust the volume and stuff. That's
what that sound was when we played Injustice, because you sounded extremely far away.
Yeah, and then I try to screw around with that stuff, and it became so annoying that I was just like, you know what? I'll use it for the headset, not the microphone. So my general review of this is that, yeah, I give it a meh. That's okay.
Yeah.
And there you go. That wraps up the 404's gadget review for this episode.
Well, guys, I'm glad you guys joined us here for our first show of 2015. And let's hope we get our hoverboards and we can skip on the flying cars, depending on where you live at. You've seen how people drive. You really want them flying in the air?
Good point. And even in the future, there are large piles of manure that can be dumped on you.
Oh, God. And on that note, with 404, I'm Havok, and we will see you guys on our next show. See you guys.
All right.
This has been a presentation of the Nerd Realm with Havok and 404 on the Lag Network.